Hey, what's up? It's Comic95 the Savior, and for this video I will be talking about 13 tips you can use to avoid wasting your time dating fuckboys that will not lead to a real relationship, getting engaged, married, whatever else. This is just my own personal opinion. This is my experience with dating. You can agree, disagree, whatever. This is what I'm doing. This is my advice. This is what I would suggest to you. I know this stuff from personal experience because I've been there, done that, and I find that by following these 13 tips, generally speaking, I can avoid dating most of the fuckboys that I would probably fall into the hands of had I not chose to do things this way, take this advice. Again, keep in mind, my opinion, my advice, this is what has worked for me. I believe it's also worked for the people that have asked me for help and advice. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Number 1, date older men. Generally speaking, in Japan, men typically get married at an older age, which I think it's that way everywhere in the world nowadays, but especially in Japan or Asia in general, men typically get away with getting married later in life, whereas women can get married later, but there's a lot more pressure to quickly marry even if it's the wrong person. So yeah, guys have more leeway, they can be more relaxed. Most men don't start to get serious about dating until they're in their early to mid 30s or later. In my opinion, no matter how young you are as a girl, I would not date anybody under the age of 32 if your goal is to get married and not be cheated on. Because generally speaking, if you're dating somebody that is under the age of 30, even if he does marry you, more than likely he's going to be a serial cheater. So my opinion, my personal advice, telling you what has worked for me, I can count the number of guys that are younger than that. Honestly, I don't know of anyone I can think of that I know for a fact I can say has never cheated on their partner. So just putting it out there. Men, obviously, as we all know, they grow, mature much later on in life than girls do. For whatever his age is, for me, I always knock off an additional 5 to 10 years. For however old he is physically, mentally, he's always going to be younger. And with that said, while you might be dating a guy that's 30 years old, he's mentally at the state that you were when you were 25. So that's how I view it. Scientifically, I think it's only a few years or whatever, but just telling you my own 2 cents, my opinion. Number 2, I look for men that dress professionally. This means, unfortunately, whatever your opinions are, doesn't matter. We're speaking facts. This is Japan, not the US. And in the US, you can kind of do this too. Unless he's some sort of famous rapper or celebrity, dating a guy that has tattoos all over his arms, on his face, on his ankle, the dragon on his back type thing, the pink and blonde hair, the blue contact lenses, whatever. Like, if he's not a cosplayer and doing some crap on YouTube or even that, more than likely, sorry, my tank top, more than likely, that means that he doesn't have a real career. And generally speaking, because in Asia, men are expected to uphold the household, not only are you putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be in struggle of, should you get married, but on top of that, he's also very unlikely to be looking for a real partner, because he knows he doesn't have the money to support a wife and kids, and he doesn't want to support a wife and children. He doesn't have the money or finances to it, which means that he's going to have to expect you to kind of take the lead, because more than likely, while you might just be a teacher here, you're probably making twice, if not 3 times his income. So, or at the very least the same, which is kind of embarrassing from a guy's perspective, where he should be making double what you are, or at least $1,000+ more per month. So yeah, I typically look and rule out guys that have the exotic piercings, dudes that have earrings, blonde hair, whatever. Like, that stuff is not allowed for salary men. If he's dressed and looking like that, that means he doesn't have a job. More than likely, he didn't even go to college. Number 3, I only date men that live alone. I don't have time for all of that secretive crap about why I can't go to your house, because I don't have time to waste. You might be hiding a wife at home, your divorced wife, your ex, whoever. It might be that you have secret children that you don't want me to know about. I don't want the excuse that you're living at home with your family, because that can also be a way of you avoiding, anybody meeting your family too, because you can use that as an excuse. Oh, I can't take you to my home because I'm not ready to introduce you to my parents. When really, you don't want me to see your parents because your parents think you're dating another girl. There's too much crap, too many possibilities. I don't have time for all of that stuff. I've been there, done that. If I can't go to your home, you're not willing to get your own place after we start dating, I can't date you. I'd rather date somebody that's grown, on their own, doing their own thing, like how I am. If you don't have your own place, if he doesn't have his own place right away, I want him to be in the works of getting his own place. So within the first few months of us dating, I'm not going to wait a year, 2 years, whatever. It's super easy to move out and get your own place in Japan, unlike in the US, so there's no excuse. My ex-boyfriend instantly moved into another apartment. I didn't even have to ask. He was living at home with his grandma, and once he started dating, he moved out, moved in with me, and started just seeing his grandma over the weekend, checking in on her, make sure she's okay, buy her gifts, groceries, whatever. That's fine. I'm not trying to ask you to ghost your family and leave them, but I want to know that this is a real relationship and that it's legitimate. So you don't have to live together with me, but I do want you to have your own private space in which I know that there's security and trust. I know that it's just me. You're not seeing someone else. Number 4, if possible, I know it can be hard, but try your best to avoid having sex within the first few dates. Honestly, you should try to wait until you've had at least 5 dates. I don't believe in putting a month on it, because if you say, oh, 30 days, 90 days, whatever, well, if you're seeing that guy every single day, 3 dates can be done in 1 week. So when I say 3 dates or 5 dates, I'm assuming that you're dating this person over the course of an entire month. You will have a pretty good feel as to what the guy is looking for and his seriousness after dating somebody for, about 3 weeks to a month at the most. Honestly, by the 3rd date, you should know whether this person is serious or not. If you don't know, you're not thinking and using your brain on your dates. You're too busy enjoying the food and thinking about other stuff. So use your brain. You can typically fill out what the guy is all about, and you can determine when's the best time to drop those panties. Do keep in mind that making a guy wait isn't going to rule out fuckboys, but overall, it will generally weed out the ones that are just trying to play you, because a real fuckboy, most of the time, they're not going to wait around to date you 3, 5 times, etc. They might go on the 2nd date, they might even go 3rd date, but if you make this guy wait like 5 dates, he's not going to do it. Don't be stupid and don't put a number on the amount of dates you have to go on. If you tell the guy, oh, I don't have sex right away, he's going to be like, oh, okay, right away. She didn't say she doesn't have it. So he's just going to continue to date you until you finally give it up, and then he'll ghost you. Don't do that. Keep your magic number in your mind. Wait until the moment feels right to you. It might be 10 dates, it might be 20, whatever the case might be. If he's serious about you, he's not going to give up because you won't have sex with him right away. He's going to want to work for it and earn it. However, at the same time, you want to put a limit on it. This is not a game. There's other girls to choose from. He's not going to wait no 10 years for you. But at the same time, you shouldn't be in a rush to have sex, try to hold him down. Because if he makes you feel pressured, he was going to leave you anyway. Use your brain. He's not worth your time. Number 5, I date college-educated and bilingual Japanese men. If he cannot speak English, didn't go to university, there's a very high chance that, like I said earlier, he doesn't have a good job, and he's also not going to make the best partner, in my opinion, because again, I know that I can't be serious with him long term. He's not going to be a provider. And on top of that, there's going to be issues with, language barrier. No matter how well I can speak Japanese, I want us to both be able to communicate in each other's language. If I'm going the extra mile to learn Japanese, talk to him, I want him to go the extra mile to be learning English to speak to me. It's much easier to date somebody that can already speak English fluently versus someone that's trying to learn it, because they're not going to really try to learn it. What's going to happen is you're going to find yourself struggling to communicate in Japanese because things are going to come up like arguments and disagreements, and it's going to be hard to be heard and get your point across in his language versus if you guys can switch between the two. So yeah, so it's generally a little bit of a flex too if you're a Japanese man and you can speak English, because a lot of people cannot speak English at a fluent or native level. So yeah, it generally says that he, has a good college education and that he typically has more money. You most certainly can meet people like I have that have not been to college but do speak English. It does happen, but I'm giving you general rule of thumb. We're not going to talk about the exceptions to the rule. In general, a guy that went to university and or a guy that has, English ability, typically the relationship will be much smoother. He'll be more understanding towards your culture, especially if he studied abroad. So it'll be much easier when you have things like, arguments and disagreements, etc. He'll be more understanding, more than likely. Number 6, I avoid last minute and late night dates. I've made several videos in this already, but long story short, that's a clear sign he's not serious. He's trying to rush to see you because he's trying to rush and have sex. He's not looking for anything long term or serious. He's definitely a fuck boy. If he really liked you, he would take the time to plan a formal date. He want to see you at a decent hour, and he's not going to expect you to, cancel and stop what you're doing, even if it's just lying in bed, to go see him right now in 30 minutes, 2 hours, or even tonight. No. Number 7, I dress feminine and conservatively on dates. If you are dressed looking like a whore, just being real, more than likely you're going to get treated like one. Is it fair? No, but I don't make the rules. I'm just explaining them. I'm the player, not the game. Hate the game, not the player. Don't hate me. I'm telling you how it works. I personally would not show up to a date dressing in skimpy clothing or anything that says too sexy, because all you're going to do is make the guy think about sex, and he's going to assume, oh, this girl's easy, let me try to get in her pants. So one part of me says go ahead and dress like that so you can rule out the fuckboy, but you might also turn somebody that would have been willing to be serious into a fuckboy, because now he's too embarrassed to see you as a wife or be real with you. He's just going to see you as a sexual object. So either he's not going to plan another date with you because you seem to be not someone that can assimilate and fit into Japanese culture, you're embarrassing to be seen with, or he's going to see it as, oh, I can get in her pants much faster than I thought that I could. So you're going to end up hurting yourself in the end. I would personally dress conservatively. You can wear a dress or skirt or whatever, but it should be, flowy, loose-fitting, not tight. Bodycons are not conservative. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen girls think they're dressing conservatively, and it's like, if your clothing is tight and fitted, that's not conservative, especially if you have curves. So, yeah. Dress nicely, dress like a woman. Show that you're serious. If you are dressed looking like you're ready for a one-night stand, like you're there on a booty call, he's going to treat you like you are. You're dressed looking like wifey material, you look like a cute, Sunday, mom or whatever. He's going to find you to be more of a serious partner for him. He's going to see you more seriously. He's going to see you as somebody that he wants to build a future with versus somebody that he just wants to screw for one night. Number 8, make yourself unavailable. I know it's super easy, especially if you live a boring life like how I do, but you don't want to be overly honest. Just because he says, hey, are you doing anything, on Saturday night or Sunday morning, whatever, even if you're not doing something, pretend like you are. It kind of goes into what I said earlier, but don't let this guy make last minute dates with you, etc. Pretend to be busy. It's okay to ignore messages. You don't have to reply to stuff right away. You don't have to answer every phone call. If you're too dog-like and you're just like Japanese dick and you just can't wait to fuck this dude, all you're gonna do is literally encourage him to be like, oh, this girl's always gonna be on call. I can see her at any time. She'll do whatever I want to. He's gonna take advantage of that and use it. You're gonna either create a fuckboy or bring the fuckboy out of him. Be relaxed. Make sure that he's going around your schedule just as much as you're working around his. You are the woman. You are the prize. You do not have to chase after this dude and always be there on call. Every time he messages you, you have to reply back in 2.5 seconds. He calls you, you have to make sure you call back and apologize if you missed the call. Keep him guessing and wondering. Why didn't she answer my call? Wasn't she on lunch break? Yeah, I was. I'm eating my onigiri. I don't want to be bothered with your broke ass. So live your own life. Do your own thing. You don't always have to be like a dog and jump whenever he, calls the phone or whatever type thing. Anytime he makes plans, you can't say no. You don't have to be honest. You don't have to lie. You don't have to say, oh, I'm doing whatever. Just say, oh, sorry, I can't see you at this time. You don't have to go into detail and explain why. You can't. Simple as that. You don't have to always be available for him. By doing that, you will also, once again, weed out fuckboys. Fuckboys want to see girls right now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to work around your schedule. They're impatient. If you show a guy that he can get away with making last-minute dates with you, you show him that you're going to answer the phone anytime he calls, you're going to reply anytime he texts, what is he going to do? He's going to send you messages slower. He's going to reply to you slowly. He's going to wait until the last minute to contact you because he knows no matter how long it takes him, you are going to reply with the quickness. Don't let him play you like that. Number 9, do not pay for anything. It can be very tempting, especially if you know that you're making more money than him or if you're older than him, but try your best. Do not pay for anything. You should not be paying for dates, not even the change. Even if he's like, oh, do you have, 10 yen? No. That's a game. I used to fall for that stuff too. That is his way of trying to avoid feeling like he's been used for for a free meal, free food, whatever. He's trying to get you to pay a little bit so it seems like you're contributing to it as well. He doesn't feel like he's the one being played. Now, it might seem innocent and understandable, but no, that is a clear 150% sign of a fuckboy. No man, no matter how broke, is going to ask you to contribute to the date bill, especially not just the change. It's one thing for him to ask you to pay for your half, which he shouldn't be doing that either, but it's completely unacceptable for him to be so petty that he has to pretend like he needs to pay with exact change. Do not fall for that. The moment he asks for that, you should leave. Walk away. Don't fall for that crap. Do not pay for the date. I have literally had guys pay for my transportation, reimburse me for my train fare because they didn't have a car. Do not accept no man penny pinching you like that. Absolutely not. Number 10, make him earn your love, affection, and sex. Kind of as I said earlier about not having sex immediately, you also want to avoid doing little things like holding hands, hugging him, massages, anything else, anything where it's skin-to-skin, bodily contact, sitting on his lap, putting your hand on his leg, anything that's touchy-feely. You should not be doing that within the first few dates. Again, you're signaling to him that you're easy, and you're also attracting a fuckboy. You're showing him that you're easy. So even if you're not willing to go all the way, you're going to attract people that like girls that are easy. In Japan, hugging, massages, touching, putting your leg on him, sitting in his lap, that is not normal stuff to do in public places. if you are doing that, you might not necessarily be full on having sex with him, but you might as well be. Same thing goes for oral sex. I have no idea what slutty person invented this. Just gonna keep it real with you. Having oral sex is still having sex. So saying, oh, I didn't have sex with him, I only sucked his dick. Bitch, you did exactly what he wanted you to do. Shoot, somebody, I wouldn't even say some, most of these dudes would rather you give him a blowjob than actually stick it inside of you. You just did him a favor. So yeah, don't do any of that stuff. Make him earn it. It should be earned. It shouldn't be, oh, well, he bought me a steak, so I have to suck his dick tonight. No, it should not be that way. He needs to earn it. He needs to show that he's serious about you, that he's really interested in you. He needs to have invested enough time and money in you. And then, when the moment is right, you can show him what that mouth do. But in the meantime, you should not be doing that right now. He needs to earn your trust, your love, your affection. Do not just give it away freely, because he will take advantage of it, he will abuse it, and you will attract a fuckboy. Number 11. Nobody really talks about this, but honestly, date less attractive men. Men that are less attractive will generally be more romantic, more caring, more thoughtful, and more appreciative of your time, your effort, your energy, your money, the effort that you went into to look good for your date, etc. Generally speaking, just keeping it real, you're dating a guy that looks good, has a good job, has a nice car, has money, etc. He's going to probably be a cheater. He's going to take advantage of that. He knows he can get away with it. He knows that he can always find another girl. You date a guy that's not the best in the looks department, a little chubby, whatever. I'm not saying for you to abuse the situation, but rather take advantage of it in a good way. Treat him like a king. Make him feel good. In return, he'll treat you like a queen. He might not be the best looking thing to look at, but beauty and looks fade. Ultimately, you're going to have somebody to grow old together with that's going to love and care about you. He might not be the skinny, tall guy that you wanted. He might not be the super buff, muscular 6'2" guy, but he will treat you a million times better than those hot guys will. At the end of the day, who cares if your partner is attractive? All they're going to do is cheat on you. Who cares if you have these beautiful children if you have a husband that's not there to help you raise them? So keep all of that in mind. You want somebody that's going to give you the love and affection and emotional needs, satisfy that side of it that you want, give you that emotional connection, satisfy you both sexually and, emotionally, physically, whatever. Go for a guy that's average to not so good looking, so to speak. Hate to say it that way, but just keeping it real. He will be so much more appreciative of your beauty, your thoughts, your effort, everything you do from your gifts than somebody that is a hot jerk and or possibly even abusive and a cheater. So yeah, consider dating a little bit under what you could potentially get. Number 12, date guys that have clear goals and written bios. A guy that can't tell you what he wants right away. Oh, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Any way the wind blows kind of guy. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe, if we hit it off, maybe something serious. No. Go for the guy that makes it very clear he's looking for a wife, looking for a girlfriend. He wants to get married, wants to have kids. A guy that doesn't have that written inside of his bio. That's just like, I like beer. I like to drive. Let's have fun. Play with me. I'm looking for people that I couldn't normally meet. No. That is a fuckboy. That is a game. That is a time waster. Someone that's like, I don't know if I want kids. I don't know if I want to get married. Why are you on the site to begin with? Especially if it's a site made for like dating and marriage and not just hookups. So yeah, avoid people that can't take the time to write out a bio, and or people that have a bio but their bio doesn't mention what they want, and or if it mentions what they want, it doesn't really go into specifics about going one way or the other. It's just kind of it's whatever. And of course, using common sense, if it says he's just looking for one night stands, just wants to casually meet, don't waste your time on this person trying to change their mind, because even if you do manage to change his mind, he's probably going to continue to cheat on you anyway. You might get the ring that you wanted on your finger, but what good is a ring if all he's going to do is cheat on you? So think about it. And last but not least, number 13, as I kind of said in 12, go after men on paid subscription sites. Any dating site that requires men to have to pay money to talk to girls, you will generally weed out 99% of the fuckboys, because fuckboys don't like to waste money. They would rather talk to a girl for free because they want to talk to as many women as possible, because even on a paid site, there's a high chance that a lot of those girls aren't going to get back to you, and or they're going to talk to you but only for a minute and then fade away. And with that said, he doesn't want to waste his time and money just like you don't. So he's going to want to go after the girls on free sites that probably look better than the girls on the paid sites. But for you as the girl, the ball is in your court. You don't have to pay for anything. The guys pay to talk to you, and the men on these sites are generally looking for a real girlfriend and or really want to get married. And again, it's even easier to weed people out because they will normally always have long bios and they're required to show identification. It's so much safer, so much easier, so much better. The men are of higher quality, higher value. It's just completely all around better experience for both parties. So the ball is in your court and in your favor as a woman naturally, because you don't have to do the asking out on these sites. You don't have to send the first messages, but it also makes it a lot easier because the people that do match with you, do message you, you can see and read a lot about them before you guys talk, and even afterwards you know that this person spent money to communicate with you. So that says a lot right there. A guy's not gonna generally waste money to talk to somebody and beg them for sex. They want something more than that on these sites. So that is that. Thank you so much for watching. These are my 13 tips on what I personally use to avoid fuckboys in general. There's always an exception to every rule. Guys are going to slip through it. You're still going to see that one. You're going to get those 1 to 3 messages every so often where it's going to be a guy that passed all of your tests, but he still ended up being a fuckboy. Although more than likely, in my honest opinion, the people that have, slipped and weaseled their way through my radar, it was generally because I avoided things that were clear telltale signs. For example, yeah, the guy had a picture and was on a paid dating site, but he didn't have down whether he wanted to get married or have children. He's uncertain. Or he says he just wants to meet new people or just wanted friends. And it's like, this is not Tinder. This is Pairs. Why? So, generally speaking, it'll be very obvious to you. You live and you learn. But most of the people that you will be talking to are looking for something serious, just like you, on these sites. So again, my advice, my tips, tell me what you think. Tell me what has worked for you. Have you tried these out? Do you have your own tips and advice that you use for weeding out fuckboys, bad guys, whatever, when dating here as a foreigner in Japan? So leave your comments down below if you have anything else you'd like to add. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you've already subscribed, consider following me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. You can add me on Snapchat at Comic the Savior and check out my blog at Comic95. Other than that, I hope that you will watch another video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.